Samurai Champloo is one of those rare anime that feels just as fresh today as it did when it first aired back in 2004. Its mix of Edo era Japan and modern hip-hop culture was bold, strange, and unforgettable. But the real question is, why does it still feel timeless, nearly 2 decades later? Today, let's break down the fusion of cultures, the iconic music, the characters, and the storytelling choices that make Samurai Champloo one of the most unique anime experiences of all time. At its core, Samurai Champloo is a clash of worlds. It takes the familiar setting of wandering samurai in Japan's Edo period and overlays it with graffiti-inspired visuals, hip-hop beats, and urban street culture. You have Mugen, a wild freestyle fighter who practically breakdances with a sword, standing in direct contrast to Jin, a disciplined ronin rooted in tradition. This blending of styles shouldn't work, but it does. The show never fully commits to just one cultural identity. Instead, it constantly reminds you that it's a remix. Every visual choice, every fight sequence, every stylized transition reflects this idea. Samurai Champloo is about breaking rules, just like hip-hop itself. If there's one element that made Samurai Champloo legendary, it's the soundtrack. Produced by artists like Nujabes, Fat John, and Tsuchi, the music fused lofi hip-hop, jazz, and chill beats in a way that was completely ahead of its time. Back then, lofi hip-hop wasn't a global genre yet. It was just an underground sound. But Samurai Champloo used it as the heartbeat of the show. And years later, when lofi study beats exploded online, people realized this is the sound of Samurai Champloo. The soundtrack doesn't just age well, it feels more relevant than ever, which is a huge reason that anime continues to resonate with new audiences. Beyond the style, the story is timeless because of its characters. Mugen, Jin, and Fu represent 3 different philosophies of life. Mugen is chaos and freedom, living wildly, resisting all authority, refusing to be chained down. Jin is order and tradition, discipline, calm, rooted in a dying code of honor. Fu is the heart, the emotional center that brings them together and keeps them moving forward. Their journey isn't just about finding a samurai who smells of sunflowers. It's about the clash of ideas. What happens when tradition meets rebellion? What happens when freedom collides with duty? These questions never get out of style, which is why their story still connects today. Samurai Champloo also feels timeless because of its storytelling. It doesn't follow the typical shonen formula. Instead, it's episodic. Every episode is its own short film, exploring different tones. One week you're watching a comedy about baseball. The next week it's a brutal assassination story or a tragedy about love and loss. This shifting tone keeps the show unpredictable and cinematic. It also mirrors real life, sometimes absurd, sometimes devastating, but always moving forward. Finally, there's the ending. Without spoiling too much, the show closes in a bittersweet way. The trio doesn't stay together forever because that's not how life works. People enter our lives, shape us, and then move on. That honesty gives the story weight. It's not about flashy battles or power-ups. It's about growth, experience, and memory. The legacy of Samurai Champloo is that its proved anime could break rules and still be unforgettable. It didn't try to fit into a genre, it became its own genre. Samurai Champloo feels timeless because it wasn't trapped in the past or the present. It was always reaching for the future. Its fusion of cultures, its groundbreaking soundtrack, and its themes of freedom, tradition, and identity ensure that it will always stand apart. So the next time you hear lofi beats or see a wild anime sword fight, remember, Samurai Champloo was here first, and it's not going anywhere.